What's going on, YouTube? I have a question for you. Can investing $10 a day into the stock market put you on the path to building wealth? Well, at the beginning of the year, I started a 52-week investment challenge where I was going to invest $5 a day into the stock market to see how making small contributions every single day could grow my portfolio. Around 3 months ago, I was giving an update on my portfolio, and I mentioned during that video that I was considering adding an additional position to my portfolio. And I asked you guys, what were your recommendations on what I should add to my portfolio? After posting that video, I did receive several recommendations on some positions that I should add to my portfolio. But the one that I received the most recommendations for was SCHD. I said, okay, I don't really have a deep understanding of SCHD. So before just blindly adding that to my portfolio, I wanted to make sure that I did some research so I could understand what the holdings were in that ETF and what the overall directive was for that fund. And that's something that everyone should be doing before you invest your money, whether it be in stocks or being in real estate or investing in a business. You want to make sure that you have an understanding of everything that you're investing in. All right, so here I am on the ETF database tracker, where I often will go and start to research a position before I decide if I want to start investing in it. And the very first thing that I noticed about SCHD is that it is issued by Charles Schwab, and it has an expense ratio of 0.06%, and it tracks the Dow Jones US Dividend 100, which is the 100 largest companies within the US that pay a dividend. And then I went ahead and scrolled down a little bit more, and I checked out the analyst report, and the analyst report says that this ETF offers exposure to dividend-paying U.S. equities, making SCHD a potentially useful tool for either enhancing current returns derived from the equity portion of a portfolio or for scaled-back risk exposure within a portfolio. While there are dozens of funds offering exposure to dividend-paying stocks, SCHD offers a somewhat unique approach to this strategy. The underlying index methodology requires a long track record of distributions, meaning that this product is unlikely to include small speculative firms that are offering an attractive distribution yield because their stock price has been depressed. The methodology also considers multiple metrics, including dividend growth and dividend yield, resulting in a portfolio that should offer a substantial upgrade and payout compared to the broader market. So once I reviewed that analyst report, I started to get a little bit more comfortable with SCHD. Now, I know that it does not include small cap companies, which to me is not something that I like to invest in for long-term investing. I like to invest in larger blue chip companies that have a history of turning profit year after year. And this analyst report confirms that SCHD focuses on blue chip companies that have a history of paying out a solid dividend, and it avoids those smaller companies that may pay a bigger yield or a bigger distribution because their stock prices are so low and they're trying to attract buyers. Now, the next thing that I wanted to make sure that I checked is what were the top holdings within this ETF. So I went ahead and we'll go and we'll take a look at the holdings here, the top 15 holdings. So in the top 15 holdings, you've got Cisco, you've got Home Depot, you've got Bristol Myers Squibb, you have BlackRock, Chevron, Verizon, Altera, Texas Instruments, UPS, AbbVie, Pepsi, Lockheed Martin, Pfizer, Coca-Cola, and Amgen. Now again, that's the top 15 holdings within this ETF. And if you look to the right of each of the companies that are listed here, you'll see the overall weighted percentage that this company is within this ETF. And then we'll jump over and we'll take a look at the dividend that it's paying out. And it looks like it's paying out a dividend of 25 cents per share. So every quarter, for every share that you own, you are going to get a dividend of 25 cents. So one of the things that really pushed my decision across the finish line is I saw that back in October, SCHD had a 3-for-1 stock split. meaning that we are now able to invest in this position at a much lower average cost. So I was sold. I had a second position that I could add to my portfolio. And in today's video, I wanted to show how my investment in SCHD has grown after investing $10 a day for 1 month. Now, before I jump into my portfolio, I do want to mention that there are 252 trading days every single year. And for the purposes of SCHD, over the course of 1 year, my goal is to invest $2,520 into this position. So with that said, let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at how my investment in SCHD has performed over the last month. Now, here is a look at my portfolio. So you'll see that I've been consistent with investing the $10 a day. Now, I will say that on the very first day when I tried to set up my auto buy, for some reason, it only purchased $5 worth of SCHD, as you can see there on 11/1 when I made that initial purchase. But every single purchase after that has been $10 into this investment every single day. And one of the best things that I was able to do is put these investments on easy mode. So I go in twice a month. I put in enough money to cover 2 weeks or so of investments in SCHD as well as in VOO. And I don't even log into the account to review it. I just go in to review it as I'm doing this video so I can show my returns in real time to you. I want to make sure that I'm being as transparent as possible so you can have a good understanding of what to expect when you're investing in the market. So I'm not just going to be putting up screenshots. I'm always going to show you my actual portfolio and how it's performing. If you take a look at the top of the screen here, you'll see that my investment in SCHD has a market value of $235.06. You'll also see that I have an open P&L, which is my profit and loss since the 1st of November of 0.03%. I know that's not an extremely high number, but just keep in mind that we've just started investing in this particular position at the beginning of November. And then you'll also notice that I have an average cost of $28.97. So we were able to start averaging into this position at a much lower cost simply because we started investing after the stock split that occurred back in October. And then you'll notice under the quantity portion here at the top is that I have a little over 8 shares in my portfolio. So we are very early on in our investment in SCHD. And I understand that my returns at this moment are pretty low. I mean, it's 0.03%. But here's the thing, I'm not concerned about that at all because I'm going to continue to invest into this position for the long term. Now, a couple of things that I want to make sure that I mention. If you are already investing with me as part of this small portfolio challenge, or if you're considering jumping in, make sure that any of the money that you invest into this account, that you actually leave it there and give it an opportunity to actually grow over time. We want to make sure that we are not taking money out or liquidating our accounts unless it's absolutely necessary. Secondly, if you are participating in this portfolio builder challenge, you want to make sure that you understand every investment that you add to your portfolio. It is extremely important that you do your own research and you add positions that make sense for your long-term goals. So if you're planning on building out your portfolio with me, leave a comment down below and let me know what you're investing in and how your investment is going.